Hello, welcome to the Hardcore Classic Interlude. I've now made 4 episodes following my journey through Hardcore Classic. I can't thank you guys enough, both the WoW community for welcoming me with open arms into the video making world, as well as my own community. It means a lot that so much of you are showing up to watch these projects that I've poured hundreds and hundreds of hours into. So I mean it, just this once, thank you. I wanted to create this little interlude episode to talk about a few things that didn't quite fit the theme of a progress series. I try and yap about things when I can, but I really want to keep the flow and the pace. I know these videos are long, so I'm gonna pause, take a step back, and look at what we've done so far. I want to talk about WoW Classic as a game. I want to talk about the hardcore experience as a new player. Let's just hang out. What else are you're doing? Nothing. I know you have nothing better to do. And I also want to touch on some behind the scenes stuff, because there's been a lot of talking about these episodes take too long. The new season's going to start before the series is over. I want to talk about that. At the end of episode 4, I ended at level 32, which I know is not exactly the halfway point when it comes to character levels. In terms of this OnlyFangs Hardcore Classic series, I would say we're probably around 2/3 of the way done. I'm not 100% certain on that, but chances are I'll probably have another 2 episodes of the series. So I guess let's start talking about stuff. I guess we'll talk a little bit about behind the scenes, because I really want to address this whole you're taking too long to get this stuff. Okay, what is this? Just wanted to stop by for a second. You're gonna do what I think you're gonna do, aren't you? There it is. Yep, there it is. Yeah, here we go. I have something really cool I want to show you. Oh, I'm sure. It's a magic punk MMO ARPG, Crystal of Atlan. Right. It's got a few things I think you're really gonna like. I'm sure. I guarantee it's got a whole bunch of stuff that's gonna captivate. Who is that? It's the player character. Can I see that for a second, please, we think? Yeah. What do you do? Don't do that, stop. Please. Just wanted to test something. What else is on that? Well, there's 11 classes to choose from, and they're all unlocked at the start. Oh, is that gun? That's right. Yeah, I started as a musketeer, but I also have a cloud strider, which started as a fighter. Yeah, you look relaxed. They've got a big storyline. I like those. You go on an epic journey where magic and technology collide. Who is that? Well, I guess you'll have to find out as you uncover the secrets of Atlan ruins, making your way through powerful factions. Okay. Yeah, whatever she needs. They've got a One Punch Man collaboration coming up. They were just at Summer Games Fest where they showed the trailer. Oh, yeah, look at that. And this game is free to play, so you can try it right now. I put the link in your description. You put the link in the description for me. Thank you for that. It's there. Actually, it's actually there. If you look right now, there's the link. He did it. Thank you to Crystal of Atlan for sponsoring today's video. Hey everyone, welcome back. I found a chalkboard. It's very real. Allow me to teach you how to make a World of Warcraft video. Step 1, stream. Very big step. Do not skip that one. Step 2, play World of Warcraft while streaming. Step 3, hire an editor to download your VODs. Have them roughly cut up whatever happens on your stream. Step 4, have them upload whatever they created, collect all the money, and offer to give them a percentage of whatever revenue they generated. Step 5, return to step 1. This is the gold standard of how to make a World of Warcraft video in 2025. But me, well, I hate money, so I don't follow that. Let me give you a little peek into what I've been doing. So I streamed a lot from November to February. Every stream I did is currently stored on a hard drive, both in the form straight from Twitch with my webcam and also a form without my webcam. And rather than have someone else sift through all of my hours of footage like a smart person would, I watch it myself. I play WoW and then watch myself play WoW. I experience everything I do in this game twice. I usually find a good start-stop of each episode, weeding out the things that might not fit, not funny enough, and after watching these clips over and over again, I start to lose touch with reality. I can't comprehend my own clips anymore, so I have to step away from it because I have no idea if any of it's entertaining anymore. In the meantime, I start writing a script, thinking of topics to cover, giving all of this gameplay footage some sort of structure. Last episode, I took Gunner's 40-minute conversation with me, put that into a form of chart, and then let that lead the rest of the topics throughout the video. Intertwining things like macros, my ability bar, getting overpowered weapons. I let all of that fall into the same narrative of there's a lot of stuff going on at this level. If at all in this gameplay timeline there's something significant that happens, like getting the Whirlwind Axe, I might decide to present that in a more entertaining way, which in this case was the montage with McConnell. For that sequence, I created my own custom server, recreated all of our characters, trying to figure out what gear we were wearing back then. Luckily, the same day I got the Whirlwind Axe, I knew I was going to make this sequence, and I immediately messaged McConnell so that when the time came, I would be able to recreate his guy, which I did. On all of the clients, I would set up the characters, move my camera where I wanted it to, created GM macros to slow down characters' movements to make more smooth slow-mo shots. With 4 clients open, 3 of them controlling characters, 1 of them filming, I started to get the shots of McConnell killing all of the trolls. And here's a little fun fact. As I'm controlling McConnell's character, back over on my camera client, every time I strafe with right click, the cursor suddenly pops up on my camera client. I don't know why, and I would have to take a still of that shot and mask it. I plan on continuing the montage all the way through the Cyclonian with cinematic shots, setting it up, but it turns out that whatever version of vanilla I'm running on this custom client, the Cyclonian has learned how to swim, so I couldn't recreate it. I just had to use the real footage the whole way through, which I'm fine with. It turned out great. I come back to finalize the script of what I'm going to be talking about up here in front of the green screen, which is actually not a screen at all. It's a wall. I painted my wall green. That's a power outlet. I usually mask that out so you don't see it in every shot. And that is a painting that Flutton painted me of our rat Tex, one of my favorite paintings. I'd say the average recording time in front of a green screen is anywhere from 2.5 to 4 hours, depending on how much I screw up the lines that I wrote. And then I pull all of the green screen footage into Premiere into its own sequence, cut all of it up. I'll usually get a few more relevant B-roll shots, just kind of roam the world, see if there's anything interesting. The intro sequence for episode 3 of my guy walking was about 55 minutes of footage total. After all of that stuff, I compile it into some form of structure, making the skeleton of the video, inserting my green screen footage around the areas that are relevant to whatever I'm talking about. I spend hours and hours sifting through licensed music. Many of the gold standard editors I mentioned before are well aware of this process of mine, since they usually have to use the YouTube AI tool to get rid of that music I select so that they can continue to monetize the video of their guy watching the video. You guys are champions, you know that? And then once I have everything ready to go and I export the video ready for it to be seen by everybody, I spend about a day panicking, thinking about what thumbnail and title to use. I'm panicking right now thinking about what I'll title and thumbnail this one. And then finally I get to publish the video and let everybody talk about how long it took to get out. I hope this sheds a little light on why these take a little bit. I make these videos with love. I want these videos to be something that all of you can come back to and watch over and over, because I know what those kind of videos mean to me. I personally have videos that I return to over and over again because they're super entertaining, or they're comforting, or they're inspiring. I want to do my best to create those kinds of videos. And to all of the WoW reactors out there, I know it's a big part of the culture. You are more than welcome to react to anything I make. I'm a sucker for watching a chat while my video is happening. It's my weakness, and I encourage you to take advantage of that. And a very special thank you to Guzu. I spend a lot of money licensing music, and without fail every time, Guzu has kept the integrity of the video intact and let the licensed songs play, so he doesn't get to monetize his reactions of my videos. It means a lot to me that you're keeping my video the way that I intended people to see it. But I just wanted to talk about this because I just saw so many comments that I was 6 months late. I hope you guys have a little more understanding of why it takes me so long. But enough of that, let's talk about World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft Classic. What a game. I have to confess, the first WoW video I ever made when I reviewed all of them, I didn't play much Classic. I played a ton of Wrath Classic. My friend who showed me WoW insisted that we play Wrath Classic and not Vanilla Classic, which, I mean, I didn't even know there were 2 Classics to begin with, so I didn't really think much of it. But now, with the knowledge of Classic that I have, I completely understand why he did not want to go into Vanilla. Classic Vanilla is a slow video game. In World of Warcraft, you pick your class, you sit your ass in the seat of that class, and you go on that ride. You might be able to pick a few twists and turns, but you end up at the same destination regardless. And the classic ride is a really slow ride. That doesn't mean the ride's not fun, okay? Don't twist my words. But there's a lot of players nowadays who really don't want slow rides. The experience rates are slow. Gear progression, finding a group for a dungeon, traversing the world, especially before level 40, leveling, it's all slow. This shit was probably perfectly paced in 2006. If 2 years ago when I was trying WoW, if my friend didn't convince me that we needed to play Wrath and not Vanilla, I would have had a lot tougher time getting into WoW, because it was my experience in Wrath that inspired me to look at the other ones. I was not expecting there to be that much of a difference in pace between the two classics, but it's a big difference. And don't get me wrong, there's a trade-off with a game being slow. Getting new gear, hitting level milestones, they have a real sense of achievement in them. But let me tell you, there's a few times during this journey where I was just thinking to myself, why the hell are we not leveled up yet? There's no way that quest did not get us the level we needed. Felt like my XP bar was frozen sometimes, glitched out. It just wasn't moving. I felt a desire to go fast a few times, and the game never gave me that luxury. And when I'm talking about all of this, I'm not talking about the hardcore aspect. I don't want to bring the hardcore factor into the discussion about how slow this game is, because that's not really fair. That's a self-imposed restriction. Hardcore has nothing to do with the slowness. That is a whole different thing. Granted, hardcore was the only version of Classic I was going to be playing for the OnlyFangs event, but I'm not going to sling the word hardcore around and talk about how slow it was. It's just a matter of XP per mob, XP per quest progression, where it sends you in the world. Watching all my footage back, I still can't really grasp why I was so slow. It felt like everywhere I looked, people were dying and then catching up to me almost immediately. Like, yeah, they probably had rested XP. But also, I think a big part of this slowness was because I picked Warrior. If I could go back in time to this character creation screen, knowing what I know now, understanding how many hours I would be locked into this class, hovering over Warrior, I would still pick Warrior. Would I recommend a new player play a Warrior? Probably not. Picking a Warrior was something I became very grateful for, not because I loved the class, but because it was hilarious that I ended up picking a class that most people shudder at the thought. I had no idea about this, and suddenly I was able to make content playing a class that a majority of players probably wouldn't have a fun time playing as. I can't tell you how many comments I got, how many chatters I had coming in, telling me how crazy I was for picking a Warrior as a new player on the hardcore server. People were flabbergasted at this decision of mine. Yeah, I'm a real crazy guy. That's what it was. I rarely ever played solo. And very recently, I was curious about this. Thinking back, looking back on all my footage, I wanted to understand really how risky it was. I went on to one of the normal classic servers where I could die as many times as I wanted, made a Warrior, and started leveling. And it's safe to say, it is absolutely as fucked up as people told me it was. I died so many times, it's actually insane. Being a Warrior is terrifying in hardcore. I have little to no tricks up my sleeves when it comes to getting out of shitty situations. The first 32 levels of a Warrior didn't really go how I expected it to go. I wasn't completely oblivious to the fact that I would probably be asked to tank as a Warrior a few times. I do have a smidge of World of Warcraft experience to kind of understand that Warriors are sometimes tanks. What I didn't know is that in Classic, at least from levels 1 to 59, Warriors are tanks. I did not expect that part. That was a little bit of a shocker to me. Tanking is a very intimidating concept to me because there's this new pressure of knowing the dungeon. You have to be first. You have to be leading. So if you go into a dungeon and you have no idea where you are, what to do next, but everyone has insisted that you tank, it's a little bit of a freak out, a little bit of a panic session. Because I know it shouldn't be, but it just feels kind of embarrassing having to ask for directions as a tank. You're supposed to be the guy charging in, leading and protecting people. And you're like, which way do I go? What is it, left or right? I don't want to ask if it's left or right if I'm tanking. I love social anxiety. It's fun. You guys should try it. You guys are watching a WoW video. You guys probably try that all the time. If I was a DPS, I would hate having a tank who was me. But I wasn't gonna just kill my character, start a new one with a different class. I put myself in that position, so I had to see it through. I did eventually get very comfortable using Warrior abilities. Getting that Bartender 4 add-on was a huge bonus. I figured out what was comfortable for me, and it was fine. I will say I did feel incredibly useless up until I got the Whirlwind Axe. That made me feel like I was finally playing the video game. Playing a Warrior was cool though, because no matter where I went, everyone kind of looked at me with just a little bit of respect. Not because they respected me as a person, but because they'd see me, a warrior, walking around and think, wow, I'm glad I'm not them. Luckily, it turned out that it wasn't really a huge deal to tank at these early levels. I did fine, I think. Just the early game, these first 32 levels, it's still very cozy and it's more relaxed. It's why I created the chart with the casuals and grinders. It's really interesting looking at all the comments, this big argument over, you know, who's a casual or versus new player, what that word means. To clarify, I more so mean people who are really interested in the early game, but once shit kind of starts getting a little too grindy and time consuming, they kind of want to just do something else. You know, there's no more running around, fucking around with people during quests and proximity chat, role playing. I mean, you can, but it gets a lot riskier and the stakes are a whole lot higher. A lot of the people I was playing with stopped playing entirely. The entertainment came in other forms, but good God, that first initial section where everyone was kind of just relaxed and having fun, that was the best part of OnlyFangs by far. I love the early game, not just in WoW, but in a ton of other games. I love the low levels. I love the community that comes along with the low levels. I find myself constantly going along with whatever content I'm doing and then deciding, what would this be like if I was a different class? What would it feel like if I was casting spells instead of swinging a sword? I believe some MMO communities call this an altaholic. Baldur's Gate 3. I don't know how many hours I have on that game. I'll put it up. I'll go find it. I have not finished the game. I have yet to finish Act 3 because I usually get to Act 3 and then I decide, I wonder if that would have been more fun as a paladin. And it's a curse, but I love it. It's so fun. It's how I enjoy playing. And on WoW, it feels like Blizzard's just tossing you the keys to a new car, and then you take them all for a test drive and see which one you like best. I actually blame Star Wars: The Old Republic for turning me into this monster. That game breeds early game fiends. I love starting over again and playing that early game where things are just introductory, they're easy, they're laid back, it's fun. Experience the simplistic parts of that class and see if you like it to continue learning about it. I'm never gonna forget how lucky I was when I first logged into this server, and I logged in just after everybody else. I somehow made it in. And as I'm spawning in and seeing the starting zone, I see everybody running out of that crypt, filling the world up. And it was so exciting, and it really set the tone. There were so many people playing, and I was meeting new guild members just in the open world every single day. It was by far the best part, because at these early levels, if people died, they weren't far enough in to be completely discouraged to stop playing. Before this, my early game experience was just, you know, Elwyn Forest, Westfall. I had never been to Brill or the Undercity, Barrens, Duratar. Those were all new zones for me. But I ended up really liking these areas, and there were so many little things about them that made it even more exciting because it was a hardcore server. Like getting to the dead mines, jumping off of the ship into the water, swimming through the treacherous areas. It felt like I was a little kid again, sneaking through an area I knew I shouldn't be. One of my favorite parts that I noticed about the WoW Classic community, they all have these folk tales, these urban legends for you to watch out for as a new player. Town myths that have only been seen by the elders of this world, like the son of Aragorn roaming the roads of Silverpine Forest, the elite mob that is certain death if he stumbles upon you, or that area in the Barrens that would spawn a bunch of horse people if someone was doing the quest over there. And if that didn't get you, that Alliance Patrol, that mysterious, terrifying Alliance Patrol would find you. Even when I played normally, not on a hardcore server, when I was Alliance, I heard all about this Stitches guy in Duskwood, this roaming, scary guy, and sure enough, he showed up. He was the scary thing that I saw with my own eyes. Some mythical, scary crocodile in the canals of Stormwind. All these things that you really hope you didn't see because it's hardcore, but you also wanted to see because you wanted to be amongst the ones who saw it with their own eyes and could spread the tale to future generations. It really goes to show how built and immersive this world is. These things that you hear whispers about. It's awesome. It was really fun seeing veteran players talk about these things, and it just kind of gives you an insight into how connected they are to this world, if not currently, but years and years ago, and they still remember everything about it. At least they think they do, until their name pops up on the death log because they thought they could take something that they remember beating as a 12-year-old. It is one of the greatest MMORPGs ever created for a reason. And I think the Season 2 of OnlyFangs really brought the MMORPG part of WoW to life, because this proximity voice chat add-on that was created for this, that's so fucking cool. That's something that everybody envisioned in their dream MMO. And so many of the guild members were very much on board with RPing some form of character. So it just made the world so fun to be a part of. Everyone breathing life into what was already an immersive MMO world. And one of the biggest perks to this proximity voice chat and making the world feel alive is that it distracted everybody from this gameplay loop, which becomes the sole reason you're playing WoW after a while. Do quests, get better gear, go do dungeons with your new gear, get new gear in the dungeons, and then move on to the next dungeons and quests so that you can get better gear. All the way until you get max level, where you can continue doing dungeons and raids for more gear until you get the numbers that you want, which you won't, because you'll never be happy. That gameplay loop was put in the background, and all of the role-playing and the guild was put to the front. It was what made those first 32 levels so unforgettable. Gathering around campfires in the middle of Thousand Needles, running around in the Barrens with Dr. Bones and Professor Mobius to help them with a quest, sporadically meeting a stranger, this troll on the road, who would unknowingly go on to become a core part of your group and adventure with you for hundreds of hours. And then the company behind one of the greatest MMORPGs, catching wind of this moment and animating it to immortalize this little blip in World of Warcraft's 20-year history. I can say with confidence that these first 32 levels were some of my favorite times ever playing video games in my life, and it showed me what all of this is truly about. Thank you guys for being a part of this with me. But we're not done yet. I just wanted to take a second to look back on what has happened so far. I want to do another one of these videos after the finale, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them below. Ask me anything, discuss anything, and I'll look through everything. I'll compile a bunch of stuff, a bunch of different topics, and we'll just discuss them, because I love doing this. I can't give a set in stone date for episode 5 yet, but I'm gonna be working on it, so it'll be there when it's there. I'll try and finish before season 3 of OnlyFangs starts. I don't know, I think that's all I got for now, but again, thank you guys, and I'll see you soon.